Right. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Just got over a little hurdle there. It is Monday, 29th of May, 2017, the night before the holiday. And it is now exactly, according to Google, 8 o'clock. So we're bang on time. And while we build the audience, as we are known to do, in a video that we are calling tonight, Lies, Damn Lies, and Videotape, Masking Tape. Right, so while that's happening, a couple people have decided to take me to task for some of the expletives we use. We use bullshit and jackass and stuff. And it's part of National Pecan in Trinidad, is words from the Bible. And I just wanted to ask Lord Funny to answer that question for me. So while we're building the audience, take a listen to the truest sense of the word. Let's see how we do for Monday.
Yeah.
Lord Funny.
What's the use of a word if you can't use it? All words were made to use as long as you don't abuse it. You see the do say this, do say that, that does get me vexed. Nothing's wrong with a word used in the right context. Criminal swine politics, pardon pseudo races. They make them words because all them things do exist. You must call a snake a snake. You must call a hog a hog. What else you call a dirty rat? And a dog must be called a dog. Now they have a thing they call jackass. And I'm sure all of you have heard. It's because the place full of jackasses. And I'm talking about the true sense of the word.
Lord Funny, telling you, we're dealing with jackasses in the truest sense of the word. But that wasn't supposed to be tonight's opening kaiso. Tonight's opening kaiso is by none other than Lord Nelson, because we're dealing with lies, damn lies, and masking tape. So over to you, my brother. Build it out, let them know we're here, call them out. We still have a little. You all know this? King Liar. Phone busy.
You wouldn't believe me, but if a lie asked me good friend Mackie, it was a big lying competition to see who they will crown as lying champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a feel about 1,000 or so entry in 2 days, he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on Liar the Lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named Gibo, come from some village there in Tobago. He say his father is
People complaining.
best fisherman.
They say they're getting blocked from the page. I don't know what's happening. We will fix it.
He had to tight on the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie? Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon
The answer
as
is
you
to
die. What is it? Check it out. Liar the lion, he laughed till he
You all know this?
said, Mr. Depot, ain't said nothing yet. If you really want to hear about fishing, let me blow your mind. Now listen to something. When you're talking about fish, you just hit the spot. I was hoping you did believe it or not. The fish your father caught, to you it was great, but it's them small fish my father just used to bait. Lion went ahead on points in the show, completely eliminated Mr. Depot. The next man to beat was really outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie first. The judges asked Lion. The Lion agreed. Say any topic will pick is alright with me. He outrageous, I strong. Let we meet head on. And when we done, see who head fit to wear the crown. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie?
Let's get into why we're talking lie. Let's get into why. It's all over the public space now, so I'm not the only person sharing it. Today, Bay Ferries Management Limited sent out this document. Now, as many of you all would know, Rohan Sinanan, Lord Funny, said in the truest sense of the word, I'm sticking a pin in all of that tonight. I'm trying to balance between all of those who want it authentic and all those who want their kids to watch it, so I'm really trying to balance, right? But it's a balancing act. Bay Ferries Management Limited put out a statement of Bay Ferries Management May 29, 2017. If you've not seen this yet, this is an embarrassment of epic proportions. Our company, Bay Ferries Management Limited, has monitored recent media reports concerning difficulties experienced in the Trinidad and Tobago high-speed ferry services. Some people are blaming BFML for these difficulties. We wish to briefly state several facts for the record. Now, the Port Authority has since backpedaled on their sabotage talk, as has UDCOT backpedaled on the sabotage talk up in Brian Lara Tsunami Shelter, where they say it was sabotage that caused the sewer to explode. The Port Authority has since said that it was not sabotage but something else, and we are going to find out now what exactly is that something else that making life so difficult for people traveling between Trinidad and Tobago by boat. Our company's last management contract with the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago ended September 30th, 2016, 8 months ago. BFML was paid a management fee of US $954,475 annually, not US $7 million as reported. Throughout our entire time serving the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we supported an exceedingly reliable ferry service with vessels maintained to international technical and regulatory standards. Some Trinidadian navigation officers and engineers developed high-speed ferry expertise second to none in the world. The Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago was well aware of the need for significant scheduled maintenance projects on both vessels after September 30th, 2016, which formed part of the long-term maintenance plans for the vessel. As we prepared to finish our assignment in 2016, we supported whatever transition was going to take place in a number of ways, including all BFML controlled and approved safety management documentation was delivered to the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. We facilitated direct contact with the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago so any BFML personnel who wished could continue to work with the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago after September 30, 2016. All vessel technical plans, manuals, and other documents remained on board the vessels. Historical vessel maintenance data remained fully accessible in onboard databases once the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago arranged for its own software license and applicable training, which subsequently occurred. The Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago was in possession of very detailed technical reports of all significant work undertaken on the vessels over the years. We are deeply saddened to see how events are transpiring. We do not wish and do not intend to participate in the current political and other discussions surrounding the ferry service. We only wish to clarify certain of the facts. Now, I said after reading that, once again, we are humiliated internationally as our double-tongued Prime Minister is proven to be a serial teller of untruths again. Exposed as a liar again, what is left for us to do when faced with information in the public space on any matter and a Prime Minister that we cannot trust? In situations of national emergency, to whom do we listen? Whom do we trust when our Prime Minister seems more adept with fiction than with fact?
Bishop Mercy say if you tell a lie, you go into hell as soon as you die. Let it go. Let it go. Shook it up. The man is the master. If we show him a man coming round a corner, he could make him a suit and don't even measure. A talking about suit, sitting down correct, expertly made and fitting perfect. He used to sew for Shakespeare, make suit for Hamlet, and up to this day yet make a mistake yet. You know the crowd went wild, they couldn't cool down. I say liar, the lion losing the crown. The judges brought the crowd back to order and asked the lion to lie about a tailor. He said, my man is the best, Rolf is his name. Cutting cloth, making suit is his game. Don't show him the man, my tailor is class.
Just show him the corner where the fella
pass. And he gon' make a suit.
That is Taylor. You hear lie? King liar. Somebody shared today on the blogs. You see, we have an ongoing conversation about why we are not diversifying the economy of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to put something in the public space. Chew on this. There is a reason Dude was created under Eric Williams. There was a reason it was created, and it was to take workers off of the farms to shut down the agriculture industry in Trinidad and Tobago. That's why it was created. URP and CPEP and all of these things that came since flowed from that. But the plan was to take laborers and give them money for nothing and drive the farmers out of business. But hear this. There's a long-term chart of cocoa prices in the commodity exchanges. The dumbasses in successive governments don't care about this because they have gas and oil brains and are plain duncy and dim-witted. I did not write this, but I endorse it. From a low of about $700 in 2001, the price shot up by almost 500% to $3,500 in 2010, with prices still at premium levels near $3,000. Some of TNT's specialty cocoa varieties fetch at least 20% higher than these prices. That means $3,400 and $3,500, right? $3,600. If PM say we don't have things to sell, so we can't diversify. What imbeciles. One wonders why the PNM government doesn't support agriculture. If the UNC and PNM governments had supported the cocoa industry, we would be earning precious foreign exchange from cocoa and also coffee. But CPEP, URP, and a bloated welfare state are all the dumbass governments know about as they try to bribe people during the good times. Rowley Somebody asked me today. They asked me when I shared the picture of Lady Young Road on fire. They asked me, what is that about? I say it's either a protest against excellent government delivery of services or the chickens of the dependency syndrome coming home to roost. But CPEP, URP, and a bloated welfare state are all the dumbass governments know about as they try to bribe people during the good times. Rowley and his Locho gang gone Chile to do what? Beg Chile to continue to buy our gas? Dim-witted and backward people leading this nation down to disaster. How about trying to purchase fruits and vegetables, wines, etc. from Chile so that we can strengthen trading links and Chile will continue to buy our gas? No, because the financiers and parasitic oligarchy control the food and drugs, all kind of drugs, legal and illegal, import and distribution channels, and they don't want to go to Chile, and the PNM will play along. By the way, look at the sugar historical chart. Note how sugar prices have been rising from 2004 until now at a 30-year high. From around the time the PNM shut down Carney and put thousands on the breadline, from 5 cents in 2004 to 32 cents in 2017, an increase of more than 600%. But shut down Carney rather than modernize and reform it and pay through your noses for sugar now with the scarce foreign exchange. The propagandists will tell you it's all the farmers' fault and they really wanted to be laid off, etc. And the PNM did them people south of the Carney a real big favor. Sugar karma today. Media, why not report on these potential foreign exchange earners? Even producing enough sugar, molasses, raw material for feed, the rum industry, etc. for local consumption and the rest for export will save and maybe earn foreign exchange. SM Jalil and Nestle are the two largest consumers of sugar in this country and were important even before they shut it down. Yeah?
King liar. Teach your pussy say if you tell a lie you're going to hell. soon as you die. Step it up, pick it up, move it up, let it go.
So, promise tonight, we will be taking phone calls early o'clock. We need to start discussing these types of issues, because these are the issues that will take the country from where it is to where it needs to go. And where it needs to go is an economy diversified away from oil and gas, so that oil and gas, when it is in windfall mode, will just be gravy. But we cannot be an economy built only on oil and gas, because of the vicissitudes of the market and the oil and gas economies globally. Right now, there are too many different chiefs deciding which way that technology, that whole industry is going to go, and technology is changing at a rapid clip. So we cannot say that we are going to continue to have our nation run on oil and gas alone, when there are so many different better ways for us to make and earn vital foreign exchange. Yeah? Hello, good evening, you're live?
Good night, Mr. Phillip Alexander.
You're live? Go ahead.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
I'm calling from New York to let you know what a good job you have been doing.
Thank you, my friend. Much appreciated.
I'm calling to tell you why Patrick Manning closed on Caroni Limited.
Well, we're not going down that road right now, so stick a pin in that, but I will discuss that later as we go. But right now, the issue is, and we want to focus on diversification and using things like agriculture as a mainstay for an economy. Yes?
Yes.
Definitely.
I understand, definitely. But I'll call you back and let you know about Caroni Limited.
Thank you for that. 682-2110 if you want to call in. Too much crime for tourism, that's not true. And we have to touch on that, because that is a very salient point. So hold your hand on the calls for now, because this is one of the issues I want to touch on too as well. Let's talk about the food service industry, where business owners hire from the bottom of the pile the lowest, most untrained workers that they can find. They do not go and look for people trained in customer service, risking pounds trying to save pennies. My favorite barbecue restaurant, I will never go there again. I love your sauce, I love your food, I hate your service. And I'm done. And I'm not trying. I've tried and tried and tried. I'll find somewhere else to go. Because it's not worth my time and my while and my aggravation to come and line up to deal with customer service representatives who do not know how to treat with customers. And you do yourself a disservice trying to save that money. But forget that for a minute. The point I really wanted to dig into tonight was the restaurants and the organizations that have customer service representatives who deal with you for table service, and they collect an additional service charge between 10 and 12.5% service charge that used to be able to go to the wait staff, to the serving staff. But now that is going to the owners as an additional tax on top of your bill. And you are then entitled to you are then asked to give an additional gratuity or tip to the people serving you, especially if the people who serve you were treated you nicely. You want to do it, and then you find out they have to save that and share it up with everybody else. Oh gosh, man. What it is you're doing? How do you expect for us to have an industry where people want to get involved and work and you treat them like slaves? How is that supposed to happen? Where's this good feeling for the customers? These people on their feet for an 8, 10, 12-hour shift, cleaning up your restaurant and packing back everything after the end of the night for pittance money. I'm tired telling customer service representatives, waiters, waitresses, if I give you a tip, put it in your own pocket. I used to say, I'm not going to go to any restaurant who charging this service charge. It is illegal. You cannot put an additional tax on my bill. And I want to call on Trinidad and Tobago to stop paying service charge. Cross it off the bill. Remove it from the total. Tell them at the very start we are not paying anything other than the food bill and the VAT. Do not add an additional tax that is illegal and it is robbery, so that you then will be able to take that money that you wanted to give as a commission for good service. You could then pay to them with a good heart and a clear conscience. That's how it's supposed to be. But what's going on now is greedy businessmen just grabbing up everything that they could get. And the poor staff, when you go in KFC and Subway and Burger King and watch how these people dressing, watch their clothes. I mean, when you think of the minimum wage money that they're working for that kind of work, and we wonder why we have crime, we're forcing people into crime because they're watching the chef doing $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 in business, and you going in with $180. And the business can't work without you. If all of the chicken and chips workers stay home tomorrow, and I don't know why chicken and chips workers don't have a union, because if all the chicken and chips and burger workers stay home tomorrow and businesses close down, and those businesses doing billions of dollars in business, go and see. And you reach there and you ever go to a restaurant and realize that out of a shift of 6, only 2 working, and those 2 doing everybody's job and still only going home with their salary after. It's abuse, it's slavery, it's advantage, it's unethical. There's no addition value to the chain, the food service chain there. So who gets the bad service when these people tired and they're frustrated with that job? Who gets it? Your customers, the customers. And then Trinidadians walking around normal with a jackass attitude of our own, because we have a jackass attitude of our own. So when we reach to these customer service representatives, we done making their life hard, and their life hard already. How we expect for somebody who enters into this brand new virgin to Trinidad and Tobago customer service paradigm, what they're going to think about how our customer service people behave. We do not reward people. When I go into the banks are posting billion-dollar profits, and out of 12 wickets set up, 3 people there, and 1 counting money. The other 2 trying their best to turn over the staff, and the line out the door. The bank don't care. The bank don't care because the bank doesn't have to care. We have a Minister of Labour in name only. In name only. So the oil field workers could be getting salaries higher, twice, 2 and 3 times higher than private sector jobs. But the people who are working on the floors and handling the sales, the lowest end of the rung, nobody taking care of them. So we've created this nonsense called a minimum wage. And by the time you agree on a new minimum wage, inflation and cost of living increases come in and gobble up the increase, and they're right back to square one. And we wonder why we have crime. We wonder why we have crime. It is time to start paying our people a living wage, not a minimum wage. Pay them a living wage. And then the government needs to jump in that fray and make minimum wage earners' life a little better. We should be rewarding you for trying, not frustrating you. We should be rewarding you for trying, and make it possible for minimum wage earners to own a home, to access up to $1 million, $1.5 million in financing. You have a job, you have a good job, bring your job letter, because you know if you buy your home and you can't make your payment, you're going to lose the home, and all the money you spend, you're going to lose. So don't lose it. Defend it. This will cause people to want to continue working and working hard. But I hate this Trinidad attitude that we have, that when you hire somebody, they automatically owe you, and that's your slave. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And there are some businesses that are the absolute opposite. And when you go to those places, their staff so friendly, so energized, so motivated, you realize that they are working in an environment that respects and cares for them. Yeah? That's what we need to insist. And at some point, the state has to get involved, because slavery is slavery. We may not be using whips and chains anymore. It's worse. It's worse because people have everything on the line now. And if the state doesn't involve itself, and I am nowhere anyhow talking about any kind of socialism. In fact, what we have now is socialism. We need to shut down all of these make-work schemes, all these Jude, URP, CPEP, all that nonsense. Get it out of the way. We need to get rid of this theft paradise called the HDC. The HDC does not help Trinidad and Tobago. The HDC helps friends and families. $40 million contract to build ghettos in Maruga. And what we need that for? What do we need that for? Take that same $40 million and make it possible for people to own a home. Why would you go and build 160 houses in Maruga for $40 million? Substandard houses in a ghetto, unplanned community. Nothing of substance. So you have 160 houses in a row. Nothing, none of the services that are required to support a community and let them live so. This is how we run in the country, and it's insanity, and we wonder why it's not working. From the bottom rung, we have treated our people badly, and government after government. So when the people in Maruga, who barely hanging on, can't get water, can't get proper services, I tell somebody, you can't be talking property tax in Westmoreland and property tax in Laventille. You call the police in Westmoreland, there's a good chance the police will come, and ambulance too. Go in Laventille and call for ambulance now. Call for an ambulance. Courts don't deliver up there. Standards, they don't deliver furniture up there. You ever hear that? KFC not coming up by you. What's your property tax for? Your road is crap. You have broken sidewalks. Woodbrook. Every 2 weeks they're breaking up good pavement and making it over. Come up Mova, Laventille, Beatham and Sealots where they have none. Build something there. Why are we mashing up good pavement in Woodbrook and building it over and over? Contract after contract after contract. Madness. We run this country like it is just abuse. You get into office and you are the slave master, and you could now do people where you want, and you hand them some little shiny baubles and trinkets. You tell them, look, tomorrow is Indian arrival day. March up and down in your sari. Go, look, you're empowered. In Emancipation Day coming, get your dashiki ready. Look, you're empowered my half-red ass. We treat the people of this country like dogs, and we need to turn that around, because all of the money that come into this country belongs to all of the people. All of the oil and all of the gas and all of the revenue earned by this country does not belong to Goodwood Park, St. Clair and Valsayn. It belongs to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We need to get a government in power that understands that and shares the bloody wealth. We do not need to have the high crime that we have right now. We have the crime statistics that we have now and the failure rates that we have now because we've left our people at the mercy of gangs and drug pushers. We've done them that. Young men have to stand and decide, do I risk putting down my work? A friend of mine today called me, tell me her father just had heart surgery and heard somebody in the house while he is recovering. And he had to get his gun and walk down the stairs to meet a man in the living room and tell him, get out of my house or I will shoot you. How do you end up in a nation this wealthy with people willing to put their lives at risk to go and steal other people's stuff? Why they can't get their own stuff? And the jackass brigade who want to tell me that is how they is, nobody is so. And I want to tell half of those people, there go you, but for the grace of God and the universe and whoever else makes the decisions as to what your quality of life going to be. Because you've been put into a position where you could either bend down and help or you could piss down from a height. It's entirely up to you. But don't judge other people by a standard that you don't hold yourself to. Don't do that. Don't do that. It is wrong. And it is time we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, started to stand for the people lowest on the rung. We need to start standing for the people who do keep the wheels of this country turning. Everybody, from the ambulance driver to the taxi driver to the people serving you in Subway and KFC and the man cleaning the street. Those people, the garbage men. Somebody sent me, I think the other day, and tell me a garbage man get knocked down and had to lie down for 3 hours in pouring rain waiting for ambulance to pick him up. We've turned our people against each other. All of this violence that's going on in Trinidad and Tobago, people fighting one another, it's frustration and anger at the mismanagement of the country. And every 5 years, you have to look at Jackass Brigade Red and Jackass Brigade Yellow. 2 of them coming to do the same bullshit. Jam you in a corner and rape you. Sell you to the highest bidder. And my partner own a chain of restaurant driving Rolls Royce. What the hell you doing with a Rolls Royce in Trinidad? You turn twice. Worse yet, the one with the Ferrari. What are you doing with a Ferrari in Trinidad? They have one road you can drive it on. One. Let's be real. Let's be honest. When it's time to go to vote, you must ask yourself, how do I fix this country? How does my vote help? Make sure that your vote helps by insisting that you vote into power people who understand how things are supposed to work. Teachers should be getting paid better than the overnight senators that get appointed, some of them without any expertise or experience. Jobs for the boys, nepotism, cronyism, and advantage. Whereas you have principals who have spent their entire life raising children, grooming children, molding minds, instilling character, and we pay them peasant wages. They're supposed to have the tax-free status. I want to see my principals of schools highly paid. I want to see them driving the BMW. I tell people, brands and bling and Mont Blanc, Mercedes-Benz is not supposed to be for overnight drug contract or overnight I get to build some house or some school because my partner. It is supposed to be a testament to a life well lived. Success. I have done something with my life. Look, today they tell me, we bring this issue up last week, and so said it in the Express today. 150 doctors appealing to His Excellency the President because they can't get no work. Nobody is planning anything. So we grinding out lawyers, go and sue one another. As you come out on the Hall of Justice steps, you call to the bar, start to sue one another because they have no work for you. There's no need of you. You tell yourself, I am successful, I'm a lawyer. Now go in Francis fashion and sell pants and shirt. Because it is not planned, it is not organized. We do not have a concept of properly running this country. We've elected people into office time and time again who've had no clue. All you know is what they say about the other side, and they're not that. They're not that. How does that help you? What has Kamala Persad-Bissessar said since voted out of office to encourage you to vote her back in, other than what the PNM doing? What has she said to make you believe, to lull you into the comfort zone that they've learned their lesson, that they've understood why they failed, and now they have a proposal to come to you? What has Keith Rowley done since elected into office? Mr. Catman. Remember him? Mr. Catman. I will ignore she cat and launch she dog and all the shit you want to talk. That's your prime minister. Lying to the world. King liar. Lionel. The Honorable Keith Christopher Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. What has he done at any point, at any step, anywhere? Today I almost asked Facebook, name somebody in the parliament who you respect. And I didn't waste time, because a couple of sycophants might have come and tell me Khadija Amin for her hairstyle, or Fitzgerald Hines for his. But they have nothing that these people have ever done. Not one of them have ever done. The only minister that has come out of government in this country that I still hold in high esteem is Gary Griffith. And it's because I watched that boy, how hard he worked. And I watched that. I am yet to see an appointment where I say, that's a good appointment. Let's see where that goes. I watched Miss Bellringer, baldhead, walking up and down in front of the Hyatt ringing her bell. She get a chance and she make a mess of it. A total mess of it. There are too many people in this country who just siding up with a political party. Somebody asked me today what I think about this movement that Vasant Bharat and Stephen Cadiz and Gavin Nicholas. I said that's a C team. That is not even the UNC B team. That's a C team. That's if Monilal and crew disappear, up them to come and challenge Kamala. That's nothing. That's less than nothing. Stacey Rupnarayan and Gavin Nicholas and Stephen Cadiz, they cannot just tell you what this side doing wrong without defending what they did when they were there. Because you had a chance. You had a chance. Yeah? Paula Gopi School, I hear your name calling in Ferry business. What you know about Ferry business, Paula Gopi School? You're living in a country where everything is broken deliberately, where the media is bought and paid for. So every now and then they'll bust a little mark. You ever see how every now and then our Coast Guard will tell you $1.9 million in coke seized? Wow. Hundreds of millions passing through. Hundreds of millions. They find 604 million on Monas, 600 million in Norfolk, Virginia, how much ever million in Canada. Our Coast Guard know nothing about how it come here and nothing about how it leave. But every now and then, 1.6 mil. Good job, guys. How much it costing us to run that mess? This is a country where nothing works. Nothing works deliberately. Look at what is going on in the courts. Look at what is going on in our courts. Do you have any? Does anybody in this country have any faith in our system of justice? Look at this poor girl. Let me read this story for you today. This is insane. You should fire the entire judiciary over what this girl went through. I hope I could find it. This morning I gave Trinidad videos from Caranage. From Caranage. You know, I give you videos from Caranage. I show you the Caranage fish market still under construction 21 years later. But you come in office and you finish the Brian Lara tsunami shelter. You find money and time for that. $200 million. You park up the people fishing center. You see where the Caranage fish center is? Underneath the silos that hold the silica and the bauxite. So you don't care about the fishermen and you don't care about their customers. They must go and breed bauxite whole day, every single day, and dead from bauxite in their lungs. Yeah? Excellent work, Keith Christopher Rowley. You are the worst thing that happened to the people of this country, especially the people of Digo Mountain West, especially the fishermen of Caranage, who still sitting down there, waiting, hoping one day Master Day will re-arrive. Because all you say Master Day done, but it seems that all that going on in this country is the grandchildren of Africa and the constituencies that are owned by the PNM make to suffer and take jam. How could that fish center, fishing market, a fish market, you could build that in 2 weeks. You could build it in 2 weeks. You could build it in a month. How could you be there 2 years now and not see the indecency of your actions? These are the same people. You take Stuart Young and you sit your ass down in Goodwood Park in some nice rattan chairs under the trees and you chatted with the people in Goodwood Park who couldn't vote you into a bingo or a barbecue. But the thousands of people who you and your wife and your 4 children eating on for the past 31 years to ask with them because it is their vote that paying your salary. Keep Christopher disgusting Lionel Rowley. Amina Sylvester Homewood is a school teacher at the Speyside High School, and she's angry. She's angry because she had to wait 7 years for justice from a TNT legal system which is so deeply inefficient that it lets judges or magistrates leave office without clearing their caseloads first or without making sensible arrangements for this to be done. This can lead to absent magistrates, inordinate delays, and great inconvenience to ordinary people who need faster decisions in order to get on with their lives. The issue may have come to the fore recently when Chief Magistrate Marcia Ayers Cesar was elevated to the High Court on April 12 with more than 50 matters still unfinished. But the issue of an inefficient justice system which is disrespectful towards the public, it is supposed to serve, far predates that Ayers Cesar situation and Ivor Archie. You need to fire yourself. You are now a failure of epic proportions and you alone are bringing the entire system of administration of justice in this country into odium and disrepute. Fire yourself. As Amina Sylvester Homewood's case demonstrates, Sylvester Homewood studied for a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Information from Andrews University, now the University of the Southern Caribbean, to upgrade herself from a teacher 2 to a teacher 3. Then, when she asked the Ministry of Education to be upgraded to a teacher 3, she said the ministry asked that she pursue further courses at UWI. The ministry told her that the highest position someone with a degree from Andrews University could be given was a teacher 2, a position which she already held. Sylvester Homewood decided to challenge that view. In March 2010, she filed a constitutional motion against the Ministry of Education and the Attorney General for their failure to recognize her Andrews University degree. She claimed she was a victim of discrimination and unfair treatment as many others who had graduated with the same degree. had been reassessed and upgraded to the position of Teacher 3. The matter was heard, listen to this, the matter was heard by Justice Sebastian Vento, who retired before delivering judgment in 2012, leaving Sylvester Homewood and several other people whose matters were awaiting judgment hanging. Vento was appointed Deputy Chairman of the Integrity Commission shortly after he retired in 2012. After Sylvester Homewood, through her attorney, lodged a complaint, Vento was reappointed by the Chief Justice to sit on the bench for 1 day to deliver judgment in her matter and several others. The issue with the court system is really frustrating, says Sylvester Homewood. We went to court so many times, and then, to find out the judge had retired without giving judgment, he was reappointed for a day and came back and dismissed the case. Sylvester Homewood was hospitalized at Mount Hope for uncontrolled hypertension in pregnancy when she got a call that her case had been dismissed. This, after going through the entire process. Can you imagine how frustrating that was? I was hospitalized because I was under stress, and they added to the stress. She asked her attorney to lodge a complaint. How could the state appoint a judge who had heard my case and retired without giving a judgment to such an important position of integrity? I felt cheated and hurt by the justice system. The whole judicial system, she says, needs to be overhauled. Could not agree with you more. We need an inquiry into the administration of justice in this country, and we need to bring people from outside, far from outside, to come in here and say, fire him, fire her, do it over. After the judge retired, they could not give me any information on the case. Then they said it had been moved from San Fernando to Port of Spain, and then of course you present the case, and in this 1 day the judge dismisses the case due to lack of evidence. Then they say I will have to refile after all these years, to refile. That is frustrating. That is abuse. That is disrespect. That is advantage. We are treating our people like dogs. She was understandably concerned about further delays, money and time which refiling her case would entail. If any of you have ever had to hire a lawyer, they put people through a lot for nothing, says Sylvester Homewood. You go through the steps to deal with the circumstances, and in following the steps, they frustrate you. That is not fair. 7 years after filing the matter in court in March 2010, her case at last came up for hearing on May 17 before Court of Appeal judges Alan Mendonca, Prakash Musai, and Judith Jones. They unanimously reversed Vento's ruling and ruled that Homewood was a victim of discrimination. The court granted a declaration that her constitutional right to equality of treatment was violated and ordered that compensation be assessed by a master of the High Court and paid to her. Sylvester Homewood was represented by a legal team. The state was represented there. She said, I'm happy that the situation has gotten to this point. Now I'm hoping that I will be able to experience a change by the Ministry of Education. So she said that she had been performing the duties of the head of the Mathematics and Technical Student Studies Department at the school since 2008. But I cannot be paid for the job I am doing because I am a teacher 2. I have to be made a teacher 3. Now that the court has ruled in her favor, she hopes that this will happen soon and she'll be properly compensated. Let me tell you what the court have to do. From 2008 to now, all that money that she outstanding, she has to get that money back. She has to get money for duress and stress and all her medical bills and more. She has to get money compensation by the failure of the judge in the first matter to deal with her properly. That's where we need to get to. And we need to get to a nation where it is possible for you to go and make that complaint. But in this country, in this royal, imperial, majestic banana republic, in this land, in do what you like land, anything could go. So she had to take jam for all them years. It is 2017. She's doing a job since 2008. Check that out. That she has not been paid for. That she has never been respected for. They just make a whole movie about mathematicians who couldn't be promoted during the American space race. It was a big hit show. Can't remember the name. Hidden Figures, I think was the name. This is a version of that. This is a version of that. We have to get back to a place, Trinidad and Tobago, where we respect ourselves and we respect our right to have proper representation. Yesterday I said again, it went viral, I said, make blue lights illegal. Make it illegal. Set your ass in traffic, Mr. Public Office Holder. You want to get where you're going faster? Fix the traffic. I said, make it law. Once you are in public office and paid by public funds, you must take yourself and your family to the general hospital when you're sick. All of a sudden, that general hospital will get properly fixed. All of a sudden. Because government ministers and senators and members of parliament have to go and take that same hard bench jamming too. And we need to get away from this craziness of government and service being a get-rich scheme. I know people who take a 10-day Senate appointment to get a tax-free break and buy a Mercedes-Benz. That is not what it is for. That is not what it is for. And you have to stop it. You, Trinidad and Tobago, you have to intervene and stop it. Because we're not going anywhere if we continue like this. The issues of the days are not being addressed. The people are being abused. The banks and the business class are gouging the people. We have a system of education that doesn't educate our citizens. So they're coming out of school functionally illiterate to become security guards and KFC cashiers. That has to stop. That has to stop. I am telling Trinidad and Tobago, now I have to go and do the investigation myself. I see Kirkwaite and Fixing TNT discovered that there are bacchanal going on in the port. So they're publishing Kirkwaite for reading my wall and writing my timeline. I had to laugh today. The games these people playing, trying to distract you, Fixing TNT, fooling TNT, I mean. But stick a pin in that. We need to come back to a place. We need to come back to a place where every creed and race finds an equal place. And what that means is, when you go into the bank, your ass could be dragging on the ground. You're entitled to the same service as the head of the largest corporations in this country. Justice before the courts. Everybody who is on a public service payroll, from judge to prime minister, must call you sir. You pay them. They work for you. Good day, ma'am. Good day, sir. How can I be of assistance? Not give me a break. This jackass, King Liar, Keith Rowley, give me a break. Let the boy go and take his 3 assistants and take state money and get action, man. Wham! All your heartless or let fat boy get rump now. A businessman asked me today, how is it possible for 4 days of roaming to cost $59,000? Where did she roam? To Mars? That's a fact. Shamfa Kujo lied. And the people who are trying to defend that lie, they're lying on a lie. Because it would have been very simple if she never used any of the rates that she says she didn't use. Only $1,500 was the bill. The rest was an accident. Then all you had to do was Maxi Coffee, Minister of Miscommunication, call his alternate colleague in the Bahamas, explain the mistake and be written off because it wasn't used. It wasn't used. She said it wasn't used. Bahamas will punch up their system and say, by Jove, it wasn't used. So we won't charge you. Apology is good sport. But we're not doing that. And the reason we're not doing that is because they're lying. And you're taking the lie. You're taking the lie. And that's the problem there. Because we only jamming PNM missteps to bring back UNC. And the PNM people bringing the PNM to move the UNC. Where are we going with this insanity? Where? Who is telling you that they have a plan to end this nonsense of food import companies bribing political parties, calling it political donations, and bribing them to not grow food? Who is telling you that they have a plan for that? When you drive through Central to South, where all the cane used to grow, I want to tell you something. Cane and bamboo, right now, in such demand for biodegradable food boxes. You could grow it just to crush it and make a profit. You could grow it to crush it and make a profit. But imagine if those hundreds of thousands of acres, imagine if you planted 10,000 mango trees and 10,000 breadfruit trees and 10,000 avocado trees, 10,000 guava, 10,000 grapefruit, 10,000 orange. You don't need staff, you need guards to prevent people from thieving or from the food companies sending people to damage them because I trust them to do that. You could drive the price of food straight through the ground. You could drive it straight through the ground. And we have prisoners languishing in jail that you could bring them out and use them as labor to plant and weed and mold and nurture those gardens. 10,000 trees at a time. 10,000 trees at a time. Keith Rowley went and kicked some trees in the bush with Clarence Rambrat and tell you, 1,000,000 trees. Bullshit. Kamala do the same bullshit. She went by the highway and planted 4 frangipani. That is your whole food policy right there. That's your whole food policy. And if they say a lie, tell them, show me the truth. Tell the UNC to show the nation where the food production policy under the UNC and the People's Partnership, where it was. Besides giving, 2 parties gave 1 man 200 acres. 2 of them give 1 man 200 acres each. Besides finances, when you drive past now, you come into Shagwanas, everybody, you're a partner, you're a financer, you're an investor, come and build a strip mall. Mall after mall after mall after mall. From Shagwanas coming right up the highway. See it? That is food land they're growing that on. Food land. Food land. You want a contract, go and build 400 warehouse and rent it out. On food land. So when it's time to eat, what we going to eat? What will put in hungry belly when that time comes? And again, ask the PNM, where's your food policy? Ask Clarence Rambrat and Keith Rowley, where's your food policy? Where's your housing policy? Not your ghetto complex creation. Where's your housing policy that allows the average person to access a state guaranteed loan that they have to pay back to buy a house, that rebuilds the communities, that rescues this nation, that right sizes families, that makes it possible for schools to work? Where are those policies? Who is talking about that? Which one of those UNC, PNM, talking about a tertiary education plan that dovetails with requirements in the job market to come and coincide? The 150 doctors who went to His Excellency, they complained about the doctors that graduating this year, that coming to join their ranks. We have issues where doctors who working for the general hospital, working in private hospitals too, that should be against the law. That should be against the law. If you're working for the public hospital, you work there on a contract, 3 years, 5 years, you renew your contract if you like it, you leave if you don't. But you can't be working in the general hospital and telling people, we really can't fix this here, you know, but meet me in St. Clair, or meet me in West Shore, or meet me in St. Joseph. For 3,000, we will fix it there. You're getting paid to do it here, you know. And it's free to the citizens, or so we said. Or so we're told. $6.25 billion is being spent on it right now. Where are we going with this mismanagement, with this lack of plan, program, policy, ideas? We continue to operate with 2 political parties that come into government with a manifesto that they call a plan and never achieve it. They call whatever they hit, that was the target. Rowley used to call, when Kamala do it, government on the hoof. Planning on the hoof. What he would call himself. What would the Keith Rowley of opposition days call this government if he was in opposition? What would Keith Rowley do about Shamfa Kujo? What would Keith Rowley say in the parliament about Shamfa Kujo if she was on the other side? What would Keith Rowley say about the THA and its failure to send auditor accounts for over a decade if the UNC or the TOP was running the THA? What would Rowley say? What would Rowley say about Daryl Smith and his 3 girls take $92,000 and romp in Tobago? What would Rowley say? What would Faris Al-Rawi have said if a UNC board had taken $255 million of the people's money and spent it to bail out a failed Neil and Massey telecommunications company at 500 times the price, what would he have said? What would Faris have said to Hamer or to Fazir? What would he have said? Because you see, if you continue to allow political parties to play politics and steal your children's birthright and your inheritance, if you continue to allow that to happen, you have no one but yourself to blame when the wolf reaches your door. Because he will. We are frustrating our people. We are starving them. We are enslaving them. We are giving them jobs that they could barely make ends meet. And we are telling them, that is your lot as a Trinidadian and Tobagonian. Take that jam. If you're lucky, you can get a blight. So you're living for a blight. In a nation where the Auditor General report comes out years later, usually after parties have changed power. So all the talk that Keith Rowley talked about, all the bacchanal that went on under Kamala, 2 years have passed and nobody has been brought to justice. And Kamala Prasad Bisesa did the exact same thing for 5 years. Not one of the people whose issues were raised. Remember when the COP and the UNC used to march up and down about all of the things that were going on under Call the Heart and the PNM? Not one person was brought to justice.
Yeah. Revelation.
But this is a nation where a surgeon take cocaine out of a drug mule belly, stitch him up, and we ain't know where the cocaine gone, and we ain't know where the drug mule gone, and nobody make a jail. If you all want to run a little late tonight, you could call in 682-2110. Call in and have your say. Let's take some calls. 682-2110.
Right down to the heart of the matter. Desire of us and reality scatter. He promised to find next time. He promised to find next time. He promised to find next time. Next time. And who is there? The badly wounded. Who is there? Badly wounded. Who is there? The badly wounded. Who is there? Badly wounded. Talk your talk. The mocking pretender. Check your lyrics and I confess you far too long. You're fooling the children. Telling the heavy wash education. Doomsday reach. And you retreat. The children coming.
Good evening, your life.
Good night, Phillip Edward Alexander. Cuba North here.
Yes, my friend, how are you?
I good, how are you?
Trying to keep smiling.
I know you're trying to maintain your sanity. I know it's frustrating. I understand I'm behind you 100%, and I know that slowly but surely Trinidad and Tobago will wake up. And well, they're waking up, but the issue is that a lot of people having doubts in that if there's a way out. Yes, we know. You and I know what the Progressive Empowerment Party is prepared to do, but I think that Trinbago, as a whole,
well, let them keep it up.
So fed up.
Let them roll that two-side dice. Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow. Tell them keep doing it. Tell them keep doing it.
No. They don't have a problem with that, but they rather not vote.
But hey, brother, to not vote is to vote. Ali G put out yesterday, you say you're not political, but you want water, and you want crime to go down, and you want food price and affordable housing. Call your fairy godmother, and she was right. She was damn right. I tell her, voting you for that. Call your fairy godmother. Because they want to say, I prefer to not vote. What do you think will happen? Jesus Christ and Buddha will come down and take the helm?
Well, my aunt in Miami, I posted something that I don't know if you were aware or you saw it, because I tagged in it. But my aunt in Miami told me she doesn't live here. I say, yes, but you're complaining about the things that happen in here because you're disappointed, one. And two, you want to see change, right? I say, you have to vote for change. I say, for change to happen, you have to do something. You can't sit by and hope that somebody else does what you don't do. Exactly. I say, you need to come back here and cast your vote because that's your civic duty.
Thank you for that, my brother.
It's your right to vote. I say, the people have spoken. I say, and the Progressive Empowerment Party is our only hope. I say, so you need to do what is right-minded and what is sane-minded person would do, right? Who is not voting on race and who is not voting for the two ugly heads that we have been seeing battling for the longest while.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks for that.
Right? And you have to be here for that.
Thanks for that.
That is what it is.
Thanks for that contribution. Well said. Thanks for that. Take care, my brother.
Have a good night, sir.
You too, my brother. He right. He absolutely correct. 101% he correct. But what you gonna do? What you're going to do, if you are not going to stand up against it, if you're not going to make yourself available to serve, if you're not going to join a political party, don't join this one, join one, form one, start one, create a whole movement in your constituency. Start walking now. Get people to vote for you in your constituency. Step up. That is the only way it's going to change. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello?
Good evening, you're live.
Hello, good evening. All I wanted to tell you is, Mr. Alexander, all I want to tell you is that you're doing a great job for the Southern Country and stand up for it, okay?
Thank you very much for that, my friend. Where are you calling from?
Bamboo number 1.
Thank you very much for that.
Alright, bye.
Have a good evening.
Alright, you too.
From the mouth of babes and young ones. The young people know, you know. The young people know. And to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago, if you don't have a national ID card, get your national ID card. That's what puts you on the voters list. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Yes, good evening, Alexander. I'm calling from Toronto.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the lineup in the bank and lineup everywhere. Anytime a line is more than 5 people, the 6th person is being abused. It's called line abuse.
I won't doubt that.
And the banks and anywhere you go, they are abusing people because their time has value.
Absolutely.
And anytime you're more than 5 people long, you're abusing the 6th person.
Thanks
and that should become law. And people should bring a class action suit against the bank and say, my time is valuable and you're abusing me.
I agree with you 100%.
You have 15 wickets there, but 3 people serving.
Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Thanks a lot for that. Much appreciated. Thanks for that idea.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Take care, my friend. Fantastic idea. Start to treat our people with respect and courtesy. Start to treat your workers with respect. Make that law. Let's get beyond this minimum wage and start to think about living wage. You want people to not be coming and rob you? Insist that they get paid better, like you. The same things you want, they want. The same things that you want for yourself and your children, they want that too. You not nice and them is dog. We have to start to think of ourselves as one people under one flag. Go and research. I think it's Ubuntu is the word. Go and research that from Africa. They say if one of us unhappy, all of us unhappy. If one of us hungry, all of us hungry. That's how we have to live. We are the opposite of that in this nation. Everybody want to take all. They have 10 orange in a basket. I want 9. That's how we move. Nasty and wicked and greedy and disgusting and thinking we're looking nice. We're not. And we have to change all of this. The command saying he was 19th in the bank line today. That is abuse. We have people who have to drive to work and drive to drop children to school 2.5 and 3 hours every day, 2 ways. That is abuse. They need to be paid for that, taking in carbon monoxide, them and their whole family jam up inside a car. crazy way we run in this country without regard or concern for anybody else. We allowing do what you like land to continue. Greed and selfishness is the order of the day. It has to stop, and it will stop when you go and register to vote. And the people who come in on my wall, oh gosh, listen, I'm not perfect. I never said I was perfect. I have told people already, when it comes to jackass ways, I could be the biggest jackass of all. Do not look to me for a savior. I'm not asking anybody for their hand in marriage. All I'm saying is wake up. I ask Trinidad and Tobago, I tell people I don't even want a job. I don't want a contract. I'm ready to retire and go and write my books. I'm saying to Trinidad and Tobago, my work, my job is to raise your awareness. After you get the awareness, go and find Felicia and Giselle and Ali G and Dilworth and Karen and Ken and the rest of the team and join that party. Don't look for a next savior. Look to be part of the change that builds the systems that makes this nation work. The Progressive Empowerment Party wants to do that, and they need your help. They need your funding. They need your support. And if you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, go there or start your own. And all these people who want to talk their bullshit about us splitting the vote, listen, we need 50 political parties, not 2. Let the vote split all how. At the end of the day, we'll sort it out in the parliament. Stop this nonsense about this divine right to rule. It doesn't exist. The PNM and the UNC is 2 grab bag of jackasses taking advantage of this country and the people for far too long. And if you cannot see that, if you think that voting red or yellow going to save you, or worse, if you think staying home and not taking part in the process at all will put water in your pipeline, do that. Keep doing that. Because the intelligent people, they try, they give an effort, and then they go. And then they go, and you could say what you like. You could talk what you like after that. People conscience clear. A man come on my wall today and tell me he love everything I say, but he don't like how I say it. What am I going to tell you? I'm not looking for a husband or a wife. I just here to do a job, to open an issue, to raise the level of conversation in this country. All of a sudden, the whole newspaper are watching it. All of the issues that we raise in are the top 10 stories in the newspaper. I like that. I like that we force fixing TNT to find an actual issue. I like that. I like that Kamala and Keith not talking child marriage, so only this jackass Satmaraj talking his bullshit. I like that. And listen, you don't have to listen to me. You're intelligent enough, you could Google it too. If you don't like the words jackass and ass and bullshit, miss me completely. To the people who have their children watching this as an entertainment show, it is not. This is not an entertainment show. But jackass and ass in the Bible, Jesus wrote an ass into the Palm Sunday. It was an ass he was on. To the point where somebody tell me 2 years in a row, the ass come back without Jesus. And he gave me a picture of Keith Rowley. It was funny. And they was doing the same nonsense to Kamala. So rest me and miss me with the bullshit. Don't come and tell me, oh, you can't say that about the Prime Minister. I will honor and respect any public office holder who doing their job, and I will say so. Let them start to deserve the people's trust and the people's respect. Don't demand it. It is time the tail stopped wagging the dog. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are the owners of the parliament. They are the owners of the country. It is time the people of Trinidad and Tobago got a share in all of the dividends and the excesses of this country. Stop the nonsense of jobs for the boys and party handouts of political financiers and investors. We need to make sure of that $60 billion budget, $20 billion gets shared among the people of this country. Give every shareholder, stakeholder a piece of this country. Reward them. This is their country too. We need to get to a place where we can demand that and have access to government and make that so. A Progressive Empowerment Party government will bring those banks to book, and they will make sure that there will be rules and regulations governing the way the banking industry is run in this country. They will make sure of that. Public sector doctors and nurses cannot work in the private sector. Not until they finish work, they'll work out their contract, or you'll make a jail, or you will get fined. You cannot do that. And to the business people who paying workers less than minimum wage, we will descend upon you. We need to make this country a place where every creed and race could find an equal place. Not just a whining space, as Kurt Allen said. Everybody deserves to be treated the same way before all offices of state. Everybody's supposed to walk the road with their head high, knowing I am a citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, entitled to all of the goods and services as everybody else. When we get to there and we start to treat each other like that, this nation will turn itself around. What is your plan to fight crime? My plan is to ignore crime altogether. My plan is to give the people so much love and so much happiness, they ain't have no time for crime. That is my crime plan. Yes? Thanks a lot for all of you stuck it out. We went 9 minutes over. Well, thank you, all of you who came out Saturday. We had an excellent turnout. We have a next meeting this Saturday, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Organize yourself, 12 noon, come and meet the team. To the people who posted on a picture they want to meet the team, you have to come and meet the team. CNC3 not inviting them on, TV6 not inviting them on. You have to come. They're doing their part. They're working hard. Yes? Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago, for putting up with this rant tonight. Stay safe.